Did you know there are so many types of fish in the world? You might be surprised. Picture this. There are over 33,600 different kinds of fish out there. That's more than all the people in a big sports stadium. These fish live in all sorts of places, from the smallest streams to the biggest oceans, and everywhere in between. Just like people, every fish is unique. Some are as tiny as your pinky nail, while others are as long as a school bus. Some fish sparkle like a rainbow, while others are as clear as glass. Can you imagine a fish that you can see right through? And don't forget about shapes. Some fish are flat like pancakes, others are round like a ball. Some even have pointy noses or long flowing tails. Wow, that's a lot of fish, isn't it? But do you know what makes fish so special? Fish are not just special because there are so many types. They have unique features too. Let's dive in and explore some of these remarkable characteristics. First off, fish live in water. Seems pretty obvious, right? But it's not as simple as it sounds. Living in water is a whole different ballgame. Water is denser than air, and this requires fish to have a special body design to move around easily. Like the streamlined shape of a race car, fish bodies are designed to cut through the water with the least possible resistance. Next up, they have scales. Scales are like a fish's suit of armor. They protect the fish from injuries, parasites, and even help them to swim faster. Some scales are shiny and reflect light, helping fish to camouflage and hide from predators. Now let's talk about how fish breathe. Unlike us, fish don't use lungs to breathe. They have gills, which are special organs that extract oxygen from the water as it passes over them. This allows fish to breathe underwater. Isn't that fascinating? And of course, most fish lay eggs. But did you know that some fish guard their eggs and even carry them around until they hatch? That's quite a unique way to take care of their babies. All these features, living in water, having scales, breathing through gills, and laying eggs, help fish to survive and thrive in their watery homes. They have evolved and adapted to their environments in amazing ways, making them one of the most diverse and interesting groups of animals on our planet. So, now we know why fish are special. But have you ever wondered how fish swim? Fish are great swimmers, but how do they swim? Have you ever wondered about that? Well, it's actually a fascinating process. Fish use their fins to move forward. It's like they're rowing through the water. They push the water behind them, and this propels them forward. It's a bit like when we use our arms to swim in a pool, but how do they steer? That's where their tail comes in. By moving their tail from side to side, fish can change direction. If they want to turn right, they'll swing their tail to the left, and vice versa. It's their very own built-in steering wheel. And what about going up and down in the water? Fish have something called a swim bladder. It works like a balloon. When the fish wants to go up, it fills the swim bladder with air, and when it wants to go down, it lets the air out. So that's how fish swim. Now let's move on to our final question. What do fish eat? Fish love to eat, just like us. But what do they eat, you might wonder? Well, it's quite a diverse menu under the sea. Some fish are herbivores, which means they love munching on plants. They nibble on algae and other underwater vegetation, keeping the underwater garden well trimmed. Then, there are the carnivores. These fish dine on other fish and even little crustaceans. Ever seen a big fish chasing a smaller one? That's dinner time. And don't forget about the omnivores, who enjoy a balanced diet of both plants and other sea creatures. Lastly, there's a group of fish that feast on minuscule organisms known as plankton. These fish are like the vacuum cleaners of the ocean, filtering tiny life forms from the water. So whether they're nibbling on plants or hunting other fish, each fish has its unique diet. So, that's what fish eat. I hope you enjoyed learning about fish as much as I did. Remember, every time you see a fish, you're looking at a fascinating creature with a story to tell.